All right, Gilbert, it's time for rapid fire. One day we are gonna
Yeah,
have
there's
fire coming out of
flames
our
coming out.
exactly. Gilbert, something or nothing. The NFL player team report cards were released by the NFL Players Association. 1,300 players participated in the survey, which means that it's obviously more than just the players on the team. It's probably practice squad and guys that were obviously in and out of teams this year. So it was between March 1st and April 1st, 2022. Some of the survey questions included treatment of families, weight room, nutrition, strength coaches, training room, training staff, locker room, and team travel. Gilbert, what did you make of this? Do you think it's a good idea for obviously these surveys to be taken?
Yeah, no, I like it because then like, it forces teams to do better. You don't want to be like the Cardinals getting Fs across the board and doing terrible and not helping the people, the families of the players and terrible facility. Like some Ravens players were mad at the strength coaches for in Baltimore because like saying those guys cost my career. I was like, man, like that makes you maybe it just makes you change things up. And obviously the LA teams were terrible there in the rankings, but like I get it. Part of it was like they're in a temporary facility. They're gonna move. If they
Yeah.
move to their Woodland Hills or Segundo areas and they're still bad, then that's a problem. But yeah, I think it's eye opening and I kind of like it. Why not?
You know what? I saw 7 teams still do not offer first class accommodations for flying to games and stuff. I saw 6 teams or 4 teams make their players pay for food at the facility. It's crazy. I mean, leave it to millionaires to complain about free stuff and this and that. No, I'm just kidding. But I thought it was. I honestly thought it was really interesting.
You're siding with the
Some of
owners,
these
right?
great. No, I don't side with them. I side more with the player. Hey, those guys have enough food or enough food, enough stuff to be hooking up.
Dude,
The
all right.
Bucks were one of the teams that surprised me. Tom Brady would go there. They didn't have first class flights for players, so that's pretty interesting there.
Maybe he has a private coach on a special team like Russell Wilson. Who knows?
There you go. Hey,
Team three.
and he's up there doing his high knees and everything on the flight, and he's working out while everybody's sleeping. He's the one working out. Gilbert, something or nothing. The top three in the reports were the Vikings, the Raiders, and the Dolphins, while the bottom teams were the Commanders, the Cardinals, and the Chargers. Well, yeah, what's his name is eating at In and Out so that the players can eat well at his facility.
I think for the Raiders, it's more like once a Raider, always a Raider. Like they care about stuff like that. It makes you
Yeah,
feel like part of like a frat or whatever, some kind of club, and it's good for them. But it's something like it matters. You want to feel like special. Like I saw like a video on TikTok of some player. I want to say a player on the Cardinals, which sounds about right now, saying that he has to pay for his helmet to keep his helmet and his jersey.
crazy.
So yeah, like come on, it's
Oh,
not.
you saw Taylor Lewan got his stuff left at the front door of his house, like if he was just a whatever player.
I
Like,
don't know, like some people need to like hang out at these 5-star resorts and they make you feel special. Like you want to have that when you make it to the NFL, right?
man, the Cardinals, they just surprised me, man, with all those Fs and everything. I think the Chargers, the only thing that they did well was the coaching staff, which obviously they like Brandon Staley, and then the strength and conditioning, I think, was fine. Other than that, everything else was like Fs and stuff. And it's just yeah, it's just great. I don't think it's anything, but it's just teams need to step up, obviously. And Dolphins, I mean, you're in South Beach. I think they're taking into consideration everything that South Beach has to offer there. So definitely, and
No
Minnesota,
Texas.
Minnesota, congratulations! They number one team. That was pretty. That was
Well,
I never would have picked Minnesota, to be honest.
what the thing about it, if you live in the freaking cold and it's not a good
Oh
place
yeah.
to be at, and you got to lure free agents, you got to make the other small
Do you
things
think
count.
do you think they have lockers that are like they
Idiot.
heating lockers where they sit in their locker and they heats them up and everything
I don't
with
know,
all the
dude.
cold?
There's times where I walk into a locker, I'm like, these are nice, and there's other times
Yeah.
like, okay, so it's big
Exactly.
differences.
Exactly. Gilbert, something or nothing. The timing of the Jalen Carter arrest warrant being the day of his most important job interview.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I never know when these things come out. Like, I'm sure they come out for a reason. It's weird timing, and like right before his combine interview came out, and supposedly he was in Indy, so he probably got caught off guard. And he had to go back and forth, and it was weird. But the thing, Mike, the bigger question is to me is like, who's gonna take a chance on him? Like obviously, I think Dan Jeremiah of NFL Network ranked him as his number one prospect out of what 100 prospects, and he's your best player on the board. Where is he gonna fall? Somebody's gonna take a chance on him, but I'm like if you're in the top 10 or whatever 15, do you really want to invest a pick on a guy like that who has some question marks? I don't know.
I think somebody's going to take a chance on him, especially if he's as good
Top
as what
10,
people think he is.
15?
Oh yeah, if
Wow.
he's as good as he is, then yeah, I remember Laramie Tunsil, the gas mask thing showed up before the
That's
draft and
different though.
everything. He did dip, but I
No,
do
but it's
think,
different. Like if you're
yeah.
smoking weed to being in
So
a
this is
crime
reckless
scene.
driving. This is yeah, this is really bad. But I mean, we'll see what happens. But it just the timing of this is all obviously interesting because it was a day of.
Yeah,
That was really weird
there's
too.
something there. Yeah.
Exactly. Gilbert, should the tush push made famous by the Eagles by having Jalen Hurts rugby style QB sneak be banned by the NFL this offseason or in the near future?
This might be my favorite question of the week. Yeah, it's a bunch of sour grapes from people who don't know how to block or execute. Like, shout out to the Eagles for finding like a loophole and just making it your thing because this has been around for forever. You and some quarterbacks are afraid to do it. They don't know how to perfect it, and the Eagles did it. And all of a sudden, they see it working, and all the sour grapes are saying, "You got to change the rule." No, get out of here. Keep it going.
I think I don't think it's because of that. I think they're doing it because they don't want the NFL to be boring to turn into that. They want it to
I
be a
like it.
high flying this, that. I bet you any smart offensive mind could run so many plays out of that formation, plays that'll trip out the opposing team. Like right there, Jalen Hurts could pull it back and could do a lot of different things with that football. So I think it's stupid. I think it's just the NFL another way of making the not so fun league. I think that's interesting. I think they added a different dynamic to their offense, and for them to be wanting to take it away to me is just I just can't believe it. It's really
It's been
to me it's
around for
dumb.
now, and teams have not figured it out. So I don't get why you
Exactly. So to
punish
me
the
it's just
team
dumb.
that figure it out. Whatever.
Yep. Gilbert, is Carson Wentz the most expensive player in NFL history? So far in his career, he's earned $128.7 million with a 46-46-1 record. He cost the Eagles, Colts, and Commanders a combined 9 draft picks, including 3 first-round draft picks in the 8th, the 12th, and the 17th in
Ooh.
3 different drafts.
So you're saying most expensive in terms of like
Money and
your time, your resources,
yeah.
wasted time for sure. Uh,
Exactly.
it's such a I guess you could say that he's up there, like, in terms of having what 3 cracks at it, the Eagles, the Colts, and the Commanders. I don't remember a quarterback getting that many chances and being like I think it was a first round pick. The Commanders gave up a first round pick to get him. I don't get at that point why he's a first round pick. I said it from the start. I'll credit myself there. I don't know why. But yeah, I don't get why these teams go for these fringe average quarterbacks just to kind of save them. It's kind of like it's like you try to say somebody, okay, you like it's like in the movie Creed. It's like they show you your colors and you gotta listen to them. And Carson Wentz is not a guy, and he's really expensive. But we'll see what happens to him. Supposedly he's been out in Indy eating food, and now he's interested in coming back.
But like, do you even want him as a backup? Like, that's just my like. I don't even want him as a backup. Like, for what?
Supposedly he was a good teammate in Washington. He had some mixed results in Indy.
Yeah, and he had some mixed results in Philly as well. I don't know. I don't know if I want him as a backup, but yes, I think he is the most expensive player probably in NFL history with all
Yeesh.
that money and all that draft capital they've given up. Jesus, Gilbert, should the Lions draft a quarterback at 6 or take the best player available?
Definitely. We've already touched on this, and I think that the Detroit Lions are a good spot for Anthony Richardson. Again, I love what I saw at the combine. Again, he's just in shorts throwing dimes and bombs away. But if you could see the tools and you let him sit, and Dan Campbell, good coach, right? I've been saying it, right? Right? I don't remember if I have. Dan Campbell, maybe give him a chance, develop the QB for 2 years, and why not? That's a good place to sit. And then it's worse to gamble because again, like you mentioned, Fernando, they have pick number 18. You find a starter in that pick too.
DeAndre Swift, Amon-Ra St. Brown,
Ooh,
Jamison Williams, even Jamal Williams, a running back. You have a lot of young pieces there that could develop, that a young quarterback could use in the future. I really do like that Detroit Lions offense. I feel like in a year, Richardson could be that starter that takes over, and he could have a plethora of shout out. There you go, vocabulary, a plethora of weapons that could really help him develop into a quarterback. Like I told you, Gilbert, a lot of these guys are 5-star athletes that come out that have the 5-star offensive line, 5-star receivers, 5-star running backs. They get to the NFL and it's like 1 stars, 2 stars, 3 stars. It's different stuff. Here he could have a really good. And then you have Penei Sewell blocking as your right tackle, and you have a
that's
good
a good
offensive
offensive
line there
line,
too.
underrated. That's
Exactly. So I'm with it. Gilbert, next time to play start, bench, or cut. NFL free agency, NFL draft, and NFL combine. So list these as the events that you like the most.
oh man, that's just tough. Well, like for agency, you're not going anywhere, right? Like that should be kind of a
Is
factor
it us
there.
covering these events or is it us like Okay, it's us covering these
You know,
events.
all right, fine. I'm gonna start free agency because you get to be in your home, and then like you get to see a lot of moving parts very quickly. It's a good little frenzy there. And then I will go combine number 2 just because I like to see old people and hang out and eat and indie and the whole vibe there. And the covering the thing so much is it's a grind going to the podium interviews every
By
single
the
day,
way, how
8 in
are
the
your
morning.
nostrils?
For oh yeah, and you get to eat shrimp at 8 in the morning, and yeah, your
Yeah.
nostrils go up. And then I'll go to the draft last because actually I don't think I've ever covered NFL draft, so I don't know. So I will cut them.
Okay, I would start the NFL Combine.
Oh,
I would cut the draft, and I would bench free agency. We have to work way too hard on the other two. I'd rather something chill like the combine, where yeah, you do work, but you get to have fun. You get to play as well. So I'm all about fun. I'm all about playing. I'm all about working. So I think the combine, I just you get to meet so many different people. You get to see all your old friends from different teams. So I'm all about that. I like that.